Are you ready or not to find out top 10 jobs from years ago that are now obsolete? Of course you are. So, let's get started. While technology has added countless jobs to the workforce over the past century, from network administrators to the Insta-famous, it's also made a host of professions obsolete along the way. As technology advances and processes become automated, naturally, some people that once held jobs that were considered essential may find themselves out of work. Number 10. Ice cutter. When reliable refrigeration and freezing didn't yet exist, ice cutters were tasked with cutting up the ice on frozen lakes. To do this, they would score the ice and then use a horsepower device to cut the ice block free. However, this was a dangerous job. Not only did it come with biting weather that cultivated frostbite, ice cutters and their horses also faced the danger of falling into the bone-chilling waters. Thankfully, mechanical refrigeration came and this job became obsolete. But it doesn't end here. Nowadays, there are tons of ways to make ice and freeze stuff. A normal refrigerator would do, but there are advancements that can create ice in seconds too. Number 9. Switchboard operators. In the early to mid-20th century, if you wanted to get in touch with someone on the phone, a switchboard operator was the person to help you do it. Switchboard operators were essential whenever you wanted to make a call, connecting one caller through the central office to the party they were trying to reach via a network of manual plugs. While this profession may seem antiquated, switchboard operators were actually in use well into the 1960s. Number 8. Knocker-upper. Think your alarm clock waking you up in the morning is annoying? Now imagine it was an actual guy knocking on your window, telling you to get out of bed. Knocker-uppers, or knocker-ups, served the sole purpose of getting people out of bed in the morning, and did so well until the arrival of alarm clocks. These days, people don't even need alarm clocks anymore. They use alarm clock apps on their phones. So, technically, even alarm clocks are becoming obsolete. Number 7. Leech collector. Back in the 19th and 20th centuries, you could earn an honest day's pay with only a little bit of blood loss as a leech collector. Leech collectors would go out into bodies of water inhabited by leeches and gather them, selling them to doctors and hospitals for bloodletting treatments. Unfortunately, the use of their body as bait often led to infections and other bodily harm, and the profession has since died out. However, leeches are still used in some medical practices today. We just don't send people out into swamps to gather them anymore. Number 6. Radio actor. Today, we listen to podcasts. Throughout the 20th century, however, millions tuned into radio dramas, catching their favorite actors play out the serials that were so popular at the time. And while some radio enthusiasts are trying to bring the format back, the number of actors who can make a living in this line of work today is very less. Although there might be some non-dominant cities in the world where this profession is still in use, as there still are some people who like old-fashioned stuff. Number 5. Pin sitter. Today, whether you bowled a gutter ball or a strike, those pins will be inevitably swept away by an automated machine. However, throughout the 20th century, before the advent of automation, it was a pin sitter's job to manually clear and replace bowling pins and make sure bowling balls got back to their rightful owner after a frame. Number 4. Computer. Today, a laptop computer can weigh as little as a hardback book. However, throughout the 20th century, it took an entire human being, or sometimes a team of them, to generate the power in one of these tiny machines many of us take for granted today. During World War II, so-called human computers were used to perform complex mathematical equations. Human computers were also used by NASA in the mid-1900s. Number 3. Food taster. The practice of employing people to taste the food for a member of a royal family or an important figure to ensure that the food wasn't poisoned dates back to ancient Egypt and ancient Rome. Several chemicals can be used to poison people, but only cyanide can kill a person within minutes. Other poisons take time to show effects, and most royals weren't keen on waiting days to eat a meal just to see if the food taster would end up ill. Nowadays, with technology, we can find out within seconds if food is poisoned by taking samples of food and cross-matching with a huge library of detected poisons for our safety. But with passing age, the time of royal families has also shortened, so only a few people do the job using today's technology. Number 2. Movie projectionist. In the 1970s, going to the movies meant sitting in the dark while a projectionist in a booth threaded reels of celluloid film onto projectors and watched for the symbol that marked the end of one reel and the signal to switch to the next. If the projectionist was a pro, you never noticed the break between the reels. If the film broke, the projectionist spliced it together before the audience could get too restless. While a few movie theaters still show film on reels, most movie projection has gone digital. Projection is largely automatic, and one person can monitor all the theaters in a multiplex, rather than having one projectionist for every screen. Number 1. Video store clerk. One whole industry has both blossomed and completely disappeared in just the last 50 years: video rentals. The first video store opened in 1977 in Los Angeles and rented videos for a staggering $10 a day. The family video chain still has 660 stores, mostly in small cities in the Midwest, but the Blockbuster chain went bankrupt in 2010 and soon will have only one store left. At its height, Blockbuster had 84,300 employees. Thousands of mom-and-pop shops and smaller chains employed clerks as well. But the pleasure of browsing the aisles and taking a chance on a staff movie pick couldn't compete with the instant gratification of streaming video on Netflix. The video store clerk is a vanishing breed. This one is a bonus. Soda jerk. Starting in the 19th century, soda jerk became a popular job. These were the people who created and served drinks like malts, milkshakes, and of course sodas. Before cocaine became a controlled substance in 1914, it wasn't unusual for soda fountains to dole out syrup with cocaine and caffeine in it. Luckily, soda was good enough that even after removing the cocaine, people still wanted to visit their local soda jerk. During the 1930s and 40s, 500,000 people had this job in the US. But the rise of fast food and drive-ins, along with some other things, ended the era of the soda jerk. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe and press that like button. Also hit the bell icon so you could never miss new updates from us. Stay safe, and we will meet you in the next one.